late 1944, the Finns make a treaty with the Soviet Union that aggression between them will cease if they will remove their former German allies from Finland. This conflict is known as the Lapland War. Retired commando and prospector Automi Korpi lives alone with only his horse and his faithful dog in the remote wilderness of Lapland. Automi spends his days panning and mining in search of gold. He sees battles taking place in the distance but takes little interest in them. After uncovering a rich gold deposit, he collects a hefty amount of nuggets and mounts his horse, heading for the nearest town with his dog in tow. Along the way, Automi encounters a 30-man Wehrmacht platoon led by ruthless SS Obersturmführer Bruno Helldorf and his subordinate Wolf, letting him pass, and have taken several Finnish women captive. Automi is soon accosted by a second group of soldiers who discover his saddlebags full of gold and prepare to execute him and his dog, but he swiftly kills them all. Alerted by the gunfire, Bruno investigates and discovers the carnage. He finds one of Automi's gold nuggets, taken by one of the dying soldiers. Bruno and his tank pursue Automi to the edge of a minefield, where Automi's horse is killed by a landmine. Gathering up his gold, Automi intentionally detonates another mine to make his escape. The soldiers sent after him are quickly claimed by the minefield. Two of the captive women are ordered ahead to ensure a clear path. One of the captives, Aino, volunteers to take the place of one of the women and leads the way. Bruno learns that he was once a Finnish commando who lost his family and home fighting against the Red Army during the Winter War. Left with nothing, the vengeful Automi became a legendary, one-man death squad, nicknamed Kashe, the Immortal, who has killed hundreds of communist troops. Bruno ignores the warning, defying orders to turn around and cease following Automi. Wounded and exhausted, Automi is awakened by the platoon's approach. With the soldiers' dogs on his trail, he hangs underneath one of the German vehicles and punctures the fuel tank, dousing himself in gasoline to hide his scent. When the platoon halts to inspect the leak, Automi flees, holding the dogs at bay by lighting himself on fire before diving into a nearby lake. Waiting for him to surface, Bruno sends soldiers into the lake, but Automi slits their throats underwater and breathes in the escaping air from their necks. Automi reaches the other side of the lake, but Bruno finds his dog. Automi discovers the town has been left in burning ruins by the Germans, and takes shelter in a petrol station. Bruno sends Automi's dog to find his master, with a lit dynamite stick attached to his collar. Automi saves the dog but is subdued by the explosion. Bruno, Wolf, and tank driver Schutz hang Automi from the petrol station sign, taking the gold and leaving him for dead, but Automi hooks his wounds onto a protruding reinforcement bar, but rendering him unconscious and still hanging from the rope. A pair of German pilots land in search of fuel and the wind from the plane loosens the petrol station sign and cause Automi to fall to the ground. The engineer in the plane notices Automi is alive and the pilot orders him to kill Automi and the dog. Automi manages to kill the engineer and Bruno intends to use the gold to escape with Wolf and Schutz, arranging for a pilot to fly them to safety while the rest of the platoon makes their way to Norway. The soldiers discover the airplane crashed in their path, with the pilot hanged by the same noose Wolf used on Automi. As the convoy continues, Automi climbs onto the truck holding the captured women, kills their guards, and arms the women. He and Aino commandeer one of the trucks, allowing him to leap onto Bruno's tank, pulling Wolf out of the tank and beating him badly. Automi leaves him at the mercy of the women and follows Bruno, who callously kills Schutz before taking off with the pilot. Automi fires on the plane, and uses his pickaxe to hack his way onboard in midair. After engaging in hand-to-hand combat, Bruno beats Automi with a static line. As Bruno is about to hit him again, Automi swiftly hooks the static line to a bomb and releases the bomb through the bomb bay door, dropping Bruno to his death. Finding the pilot also dead, Automi straps himself in as the plane crashes into a large swamp. Led by Aino, the women deliver Wolf and the German tank to an incredulous Finnish unit. remarkably still alive, and makes his way to war-ravaged Helsinki. Automi enters a bank where he dumps his gold nuggets on the counter, asking the teller to exchange them for large banknotes.